Meghan Markle here.
Today is August 10th, 2025. It is 3:56 a.m. Alright, so let's go on Twitter because there's a lot to share with you. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do all of them. So while I have the energy to record, let's get that out of the way. Alright, so this is the first tweet. From Billy the Basher to Sir, report claim Prince William's temper hasn't cooled. I think in my one of the recording I did this week where they said that I think Mirror, one of those British media papers, said something like he doesn't want to be called something. He wants to be called Sir. So this is what they're making reference to. So I addressed this already from a previous recording. So the squad are talking right now, just making fun of it. All right. There's that. Haha, Billy the Basher. You don't say? There's the laugh here. So what is that? A minute and 23 seconds. Let's listen to this. Oh, I can't hear anything.
David Yellen is the editor of The Sun, and I used to say to them, why? And why do you plant stories? And they did. Plant is a strong word. Give stories to the tabloids first. Why did you come to me and I'll broadcast and they can follow me? But that was never the way that has worked. They like to keep particularly the tabloids on side. That is so.
Okay, the audio is a bit behind. It's still on. I don't hear anything.
The statement had no legal significance on the case whatsoever, other than to actually vindicate a lot of what Meghan had been saying about how the letter was never intended to be published. But it was.
That's Meghan's lawyer regarding the privacy case. Something Fura. I'll put her name at the bottom of the screen.
Filed because the impact on Meghan's reputation was potentially damaging. The reporting skewered things to make it look falsely as if Meghan had lied, which she absolutely hasn't.
As has been proven time and time again.
Yeah, the audio with that video is not aligned. They're not aligned.
There's an incentive for the British media to get you to trial because they can make so much money and create such a circus around it, which is exactly what they did here. You don't have the resource or capability or the capacity to be able to stand up to these people, and no one else does.
Okay, the audio is a bit behind. Okay, that boy has a temper. The woman, aka the Rottweiler. Look at him. Look at his face. Taking his hand right at the throat. He has some issues and they never stopped it. That's the problem. Since he was a child, he was displaying these types of behavior, but nobody stopped him. He could do some damages now. Alright, really the only royal who can put the UK back to its rightful place. Back to what? Okay, there's Harry who left and give him the spotlight that William wanted. What William has been doing since Harry left? Nothing. Is he helping his father from what I'm seeing right now? When he should be helping and he can't even help? He prefer taking as many vacation as possible. From some of these nasty comments, it's heading in the wrong direction. Let's see, there's 4 comments here. Don't hold your breath. If there was work in the bed, he will sleep on the floor. What a joke. Alright. Okay, let's read what's there. He was an angry spoiled brat who wanted everything his little brother had. I bet he has done some despicable acts that his sycophantic media's hacks know, and I wonder how long before they spill the beans. A psychopath. Nah, the only correct title for Willie is Peggy. Okay, I always like Willie Wombat. A leopard cannot change its spot. Okay. So is he now HRH Sir Billy the Basher? Billy Basher. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. This has to do with British media. I don't know if he understands his position. He's gonna be king. That's like the top price of top price. But he seems like he doesn't understand. I think based on a couple things that I've seen, okay, it seems like he prefer Harry's life. Meanwhile, he's putting unnecessary burden onto Harry while Harry is navigating to the real world. The real world is hard. I mean, believe me, it should not have been hard. Life should not have been hard. It's because of the system these people have put in place in terms of hierarchy. They're really forcing that type of nonsense into people's thought. Now it's more clearer than ever before. 2025. They're throwing this type of hierarchy into people's thought. You have to accept this hierarchy. There are some people who's pushing back. They're like, no, you have the energy. If you could work hard and work for what you want, that's what's gonna happen. You will get rewarded or whatever. But no, they want to force this hierarchy, from the royal family and, the level of things. And then once you get to the population, they subdivide it even more. Where dark, brown, you name it. The in terms of skin tone. But people are pushing back. But these people, they are crazy. They are crazy. And people are pushing back. Okay, so this is the next tweet. The thing that I was trying to say is that William thinks the real world is easy. Because when we see the final, a small little snapshot of Harry going out doing things, I mean, he put the front, but in the background there's a lot of work. Life doesn't have to be hard. It's man-made problems. Those hierarchy that I was just talking about, they inflicting unnecessary burden onto people. All we needed to do was taking care of the land and for the next generation, and then we move on. Okay, once we die, the next generation will take care and do the same thing. But these people make it so impossible for people to live their lives, to do the basic of things, taking care of the land. The only problem we will have is natural causes, things that we cannot control. But these people, they are inflicting unnecessary pain onto people, which make life a living hell. Okay, so that's that. Next week, the British royals are going lick for lick via tabloid headlines, and all you anti-Sussex royalist trolls care about is a lady across the pond making gems, selling wine, and being loved on by her husband and kids. Make it make sense. Alright, they are stupid and delusional. And let's not forget as well, I raised that on my last recording. I did 2 recordings yesterday. Is that they want to create distraction. Okay, there is a lot of things that's going on politically. I have not raised many of these political issues as much anymore. I just felt like I went through it already for some reason. I don't know why. I felt like the issues that politically that we are facing, I felt like I seen it already. So it doesn't motivate me to talk about them anymore for some reason. I don't see the urge before the 2024 election. I just don't see the urgency, the urge, the motivation to talk about them anymore, because I feel like this is a storm we have to go through. Some of us will get through it, others will not make it, but the urgency, the warning that I felt before the 2024 election, I don't feel it anymore. I feel like there's a sense of calmness within me, which I don't feel like the warning to urge you. I don't know if some of you saw the urgency of it prior to the 2024 election, but I'm just not motivated to talk about them anymore. Occasionally I take a peek to look at what's happening politically, but unlike leading up to the 24 election, the way I used to talk a lot about politics, some of you, may not be, were not as interested in them, but I felt like I needed to talk about them because I saw the danger that was happening. It was like in slow motion to me. So now that we we did the election, we are in it. I feel like we are in the storm right now. This is not even anything yet. It's gonna get worse. It seems like some people have to go through it in order for them to understand it. So once we get to the other side, let's say after, let's say the midterm election, we do well. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, we do well. So people who are feeling the pain now will probably understand come midterm election to vote properly. And if we don't collectively, if we don't see reality of things that's happening, there's no, for me, I just don't see why I have to. I mean, I will be fighting, don't get me wrong, but to use my platform to keep on warning, there are other people who have been invested, like Tuvotuville, Kenny and Thabita. You guys could follow them. They are more into it. But unlike me, I felt like it was before the 2020 election. That's where I was motivated to like warn people. There's a problem that's coming. You need to look into what's going on. But I don't have that huge of a platform anyway. And I don't go in full details similar to like those political analysts for me to actually I guess catch people's attention. Whatever I felt at that time to contribute to the warning, I did my part. But now we are in the storm. Okay? But I wisely recommend many of you, whichever countries you are in, whether you're in the US, the UK, somewhere in Africa, Australia, whichever places that you are in. Even though I'm sharing these are pretty much noise. They're not really affecting you personally, but there probably some connection someplace, some shape or form. But you need to pay attention politically what's going on in your country and be informed. So when it's time for you to vote, if you are able to vote, so you could make proper decision when you are in the voting booth. All of these are noise to distract you. But since I have the time, and many of you don't have time to be on Twitter, I scramble through Twitter and get some of the squad's conversation. Okay? But I truly, deeply recommend you to pay attention politically. I think many of you are multitaskers. Even though you're paying attention to what the squad are talking about, to be on the loop, maybe this might be a distraction for you to stay away from the real issues for a few minutes. But don't ever leave the political aspect, the information of politics completely out of your system. You need to pay attention to that. Because these people are trying to take control of your kids, your great-grandkids' future, so they could have control of it, so they could inflict unnecessary pain. Look what happened in the Middle East. This is something I could never fathom. And to see these people, the lack of care, their barbaric behavior, to just throw bombs without any care, shooting without any care. Because I've seen the videos, I just cannot share them. So, all in all, don't neglect politics when it comes to our society and to your lives, because it affects you. It affects your everyday lives. Okay? So I just had to say that. But technically, all in all the hardship that many people are facing, we didn't have to. It's human behavior, man-made problems that makes our lives a living hell. But anyway, let's continue. They are stupid and delusional. They inhabit a different reality, I swear. Yeah, there's something in their brain they completely remove to not understand logic and common sense. And there are times when I see some of these people are talking, when they put their videos out, they are talking, they're angry. I think they are possessed. You could see it through their eyes. Oh my God. Okay, it makes sense, but you are a thick was it? It makes sense, but you are a thick big sis. It's too complicated for you to understand. There's the yarn here, lady. Let me tell you, the difference between you and our team is that we can look at a piece of shit like Andrew. Oh my God. We can look at a piece of shit like Andrew and recognize he's a piece of shit. You lot, on the other hand, see the shit and throw flower sprinkles on the stemming thread. Before eating a bowl of it, you are welcome. I didn't see that coming. That's the thumbs up. This is epic. It will really pop off when their OPA passes. So excited for them to experience this discomfort. Let's pause that. Okay, whatever's on the screen, that's it. Literally them when it comes to the obvious conflict inside the royal family. They're blind. Yeah, they don't see it. I think they purposely do it. That part of their brain is removed completely. Ploy to distract, Squaddy said, we were born but not yesterday. Not Caesar Parker Bowles running all the palaces and putting her husband's heir on blast. Note that none of them ever criticized Charles for his duchy products either. Okay, it didn't take her long to black me. Alright, so let's move on to the next tweet. The part about when we see a piece of shit, we know it is. But the other one, they put flower sprinkles. Okay, next tweet. It's getting harder for the royal family to use Meghan and Harry to distract from the cutthroat war between King Charles III and Camilla versus William, and then there's William versus Kate. The UK taxpayers is the one suffering the most, Willie and Kate on vacation, while poor Anne at 74 is the workhorse. It should be getting harder for you to support a woman who can't show love for a father who supported her. Oh, please. Okay, let me pause and type this. Alright, so this is what I did here. I'm responding to this. It should be getting harder for you to support a woman who can't show love for a father who supported her. So there's me here responding. You mean this father? There's a link here. The father who wanted to mess up the wedding? There's the link of it. Alright, so this is where Thomas Markle is saying.
And of course the photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Rayner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who's with American Media, I think. And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding. I was just part of it, basically.
The royals on me.
Okay. He was there to mess up the wedding. Alright, people put more thing here. Okay, I support Meghan more because she showed more respect to her dad and provided for him despite the fact he cheated on her mom by going to Thailand and sleeping with women there. Her own brother said so. Alright, so there's that here. While Kate was falling into cars drunk, Meghan was taking care of Thomas Markle's mom in her final years. Meghan also financially provided for her dad until his paid paparazzi photo shoot designed to stop her wedding. Okay, so somebody mentioned that. A dad who saw his photos and did paid interviews insulting his own daughter. She continued. Pay interviews insulting his own daughter, then Harry, then the royal family, then gave permission to her half-siblings, Tom Jr. and Samantha, to make money off their sibling relationship. Okay, so there's that. Let me black this one. I don't want to see this idiot. I mean, how much pain do they want Meghan to take? They're consistently going after her. Oh, there's the squad cooking. Last night was my weekly 1 pan pasta night. I'm as bad as Tasty UK. So there's that here. It was not on my list, but it popped up. Oops. Next tweet. Okay. Y'all get your popcorn ready, because this war of headlines and briefing between Camilla and William is going to be so entertaining. We will soon learn what happened on 28 December 2023 and that ambulance convoy from Sandringham. I can't stand this woman. I mean, these people have some freaking nerves. They have the audacity. They have no shame. I'm looking at her face here. things that she done to be here. It's unbelievable. No shame at all. No shame. No shame into her game.
I walk into the house and stick my hand out to Camilla for the first time and think she got over that. We were all upstairs and I was chatting away and I suddenly noticed that there was no Camilla, no Charles upstairs. So this disturbs me. So I make my way to go downstairs again. I know what I'm going to confront myself with. Try and stop me from going downstairs. Then I don't go down there. I'm just going to find my husband. I go downstairs and there's a very happy little threesome going on downstairs. Camilla, Charles and some other man who I didn't know, chatting away. So I thought, right, this is your moment. So I went and sat down, joined in the conversation as though we were best friends. And I said, Camilla, I'd love to have a word with you if possible. And she looked really uncomfortable, put her head down. She said, oh yes, right. And I said to the two men, okay boys, we'll just have a quick word with Camilla and I'll be up in a minute. And they shot upstairs like chickens with no heads. And I could feel upstairs all hell breaking loose. What's she going to do? So I said, Camilla, you like to sit down. So we sat down and I was terrified of her. And I said, Camilla, I'd just like you to know that I know exactly what's going on. And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, I know what's going on between you and Charles. And I just want you to know that. And she said to me, very interesting, she said to me, you've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got two beautiful children, what more would you want? And I didn't believe what she said anyway. So I said, I want my husband. And she said, well, and she looked down the whole time. I said to Camilla, I'm sorry I'm in the way. I obviously am in the way. And it must be hell for both of you. But I didn't know what's going on, don't you know? In the car on the way back, my husband was over me like a bad rash. I cried like I've never cried before. It was anger. It was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out. Cried. I didn't sleep that night. And the next morning I woke up.
It appears Queen Camilla may be the one calling the shot, says expert. Exclusive, Queen Camilla orders Charles to put a stop to Prince William's creating issues and monarchy. Exclusive, Prince William is allegedly pushing to be the driving force behind the throne, a former royal photographer has claimed. If Harry was there, none of this would have been happening. And this is why they separate, they create that division between the two brothers to get Harry out of there. It's now, I think, William is starting to understand he's by himself. And Charles doesn't give a shit. And I always feel like Camilla, they put her there, not just put her here, whatever, but as an insider, eyes and ears. Okay? A mold. Alright? Well, I be damned. Buckingham Becky versus Kensington Karens. The real war that has played out. Let the fighting continue. Can't wait. There's the laugh here. Can't wait. King Charles wishes to be her tampon. He chose this woman over their mother. Like he is a leadership material. He really needs to step aside and let his son be the face of the British monarchy sooner rather than later. But anyway, I was thinking of something, but let me not create problem. British has a home wrecking hoe. Oh my God, that's quite a not playing. Britain has a home wrecking hoe for a king's consort. Let's start there. Can't exactly blame William for seeing the shame in that. Camilla knows Willie is guilty of DV, domestic violence, and Kate is a survivor but forced to stay around. I mean, she could move on. If she's taking Willie to the woodshed, I may find myself in the very odd position of being on Team Camilla, at least for that moment. At least for the moment. This headline makes one thing clear. The real power in the UK isn't wearing the crown, it's pulling the string. When Camilla is the one directing the king's action against his own heir, it's monarchy by proxy, and she's the one who really runs the firm. Alright, so that's that. Their problem. Okay, so now we are into Sentebale. I have, I think, 2 tweets regarding Sentebale. This one I posted on my community board already. No, not that. It's the next one I have. Okay, it's weird that you think being invited to pose on stage is stealing the spotlight. I guess you didn't see that she was the one who actually awarded the cup to the winning team. But doesn't from Charles with Princess Diana and William, all of them, when they do those things, the polo match, when they get the award, it's the wives that hand it to the husband or the team captain or something like that. All right, the problem is not the spotlight, etc. The problem with these people is the existence of Meghan, a black woman loved by a white prince. 100%. Know that every time you see Catherine, it's a KP patrol. Okay, just like Diana, Kate, and other royal wives. That's what I was just saying. I just knew they will find a way to turn this into a Meghan problem. I think bullying is Harry always making room. Okay, bullying is Harry always making room for his wife by his side. They want to lay claim to her husband's time and attention so bad they feel wrong whenever she's present. Okay, a question. Event of all types, usually featured an attractive presenter, sponsor, or spouse, often with lots of body shifting until photograph approves the composition. It's not formal or ceremonial. The goal is to end still image. All right, typical no and holy too. I don't understand what that means. Imagine when she saw that kiss. I guess they're making reference to Sophie Sanduka. Gosh, you think that they be off creating fundraisers to help the people of Lesotho and Botswana instead of worrying about Meghan. It's almost like they only have fake concern for Sentebale. Yeah, that's fake concern. They should thank Meghan because the last event, the polo match that they did in Florida, where Serena Williams came, it's because of Meghan. And I'm sure she didn't just show up empty-handed. I'm sure she sent a couple, checks to Sentebale. They should thank Meghan. The problem is Harry isn't concerned with the spotlight. He's happy to give it to Meghan or share it. The only people who say stuff about this is deranged and insecure crybabies like King Charles III and eggheads. Facts really don't matter to Harry and Meghan haters. Why don't they just scroll past? Spending so much time hating on people you don't know is sad. Alright, let's go to the next one. It's about Sentebale as well. I think this is the one that I put on my community board. Yep, that one. There have been rumors that the real motive for the hostile takeover of Sentebale was to access children's biodata. It's interesting that Sophie's company now features a Sentebale child on its website. Meanwhile, it's still not clear what Nindi Life Science actually does. And there's the Sentebale hat here. Okay. Let's see. Seems Sentebale is now at the center of their reason for existence. Oh God. Let's read this. Social impact and giving back. So this is from the website of Sophie's whatever she does. Nandi's founders have enjoyed the privilege of a world-class education and international careers because of access to various merit-based scholarships and advocacy from business leaders throughout their careers. They are deeply committed to paying it forward by supporting young people to achieve their aspiration in life. Then she says something about Sentebale's goal or new vision is, let me look it up. This. What was Sophie Sanduka's new focus for Sentebale? Sophie Sanduka's new focus for Sentebale, as she articulates in early 2025, was to broaden the charity's scope from its traditional HIV/AIDS. That was the main thing, HIV/AIDS, and this is something that Princess Diana was advocating for. Okay, support for children in Lesotho and Botswana, to a more expensive agenda addressing youth health, wealth, and climate resilience. They add this to that. Sentebale was already doing all of this, training people, the kids and all of that, give them medication and all of that. Now she's adding climate resilience. I mean, yes, it's good and everything like that, but she's running the thing as if it's hers. She framed this as an evolution from a development-focused mission to a comprehensive youth empowerment strategy. Okay, so I look climate resilience. Climate resilience refers to the ability of individuals, communities, ecosystem, and system to anticipate, prepare for, respond to, and recover from an impact of climate change. So that's gonna take a lot of time from the HIV/AIDS. This is a William kind of thing for his Earthshot thing. So why are they forcing that into? It's like the focus is completely changed. One of the things that I've said in past videos recently is that can those countries, Botswana and Lesotho, can said, look, with what's going on with Sentebale, and they remove the two princes that they trusted, Prince Harry and Prince Yoso, are no longer running the show, and with all the noise that's going on with Sentebale, and reject it and say, at the moment, we do not want you to operate in our country to use the things, the kids for their prop. Because that was the main focus, Lesotho and Botswana. I don't know how Harry can get that back. Okay, so there's more of this. You could pause and read these. Or just go search on AI or ChatGPT, climate resilience. Alright, so back to Twitter here. Let's finish with this. As such, Nendi's founders are particularly proud to support the work of Sentebale, oh my God, in Southern Africa. But what were they focused before that? Okay, Nendi's. Let me go back to ChatGPT. What was Nendi's objective or goal? Okay, let's see here. Where's ChatGPT? Let's ask. What was... Is it Nendi's goal? I guess from its, let's say, inception. Okay, let's see. What were their goals from the beginning? Is there anything? That's from ChatGPT. And I believe this is the... how do you call it? Nendi is Shanduka's or whoever it is. I don't know whose charity is that. Okay, when you ask what was Nendi's goal from its inception, there's a clear reference to Nendi, the divine bull and royal companion of no. Let's change it. What is Nendi? Is it a charity or let's put charity. Or organization. Let's say organization. I don't know what it is. I should go to their website. Okay, if you're referring Nendi, the non-profit organization based in California that support black women in the community college system, here's what drove the founder mission. Okay, now I want to know who is the founder. Okay, before I start reading. Who is Nendi's founder? Was located reliable information explaining founder, individual, Nendi, non-profit support. Okay. If you're looking for the founding individual story, Nendi origin, it's possible that the details aren't publicly. Okay. Let me pause for a second. I'm wasting time. I had to search for the name. Okay, so it's Nendi Life Sciences. Okay, Nendi. So let's go back to, what is it? What was the question I was asking before? ChatGPT was not really reading it. What was Nendi organization goal from the inception? Let's put the name. So the name is Nendi Life Sciences. What was, I don't want to mess up, Nendi Life Science goal from inception, from the beginning. Okay, here's what I found regarding Nandy's Life Science and its foundational goal. What was Nandy Life Science goal from its inception? Mission focus. Nandy Life Science co-founder Sophie Shanduka. Okay, so it's looking at the right organization, and her brother Tanashi Shanduka in 2023. What the fuck? I'm sorry for my language. It recently. They probably just created it to do what they're doing with Sentebale. I thought this was there since, let's say, 2016 or something like that. 2023. And then the debacle started. So that was their foundation to start their nonsense. Okay. I know I read in past videos, could have been last year regarding that, but now it's clicking. Okay. Is a biotechnology company dedicated to developing therapies for rare cancer and autoimmune diseases. For rare cancers and autoimmune diseases. Purpose and problem addressed. The founders recognize a significant gap in healthcare funding, particularly due to underinvestment in female-owned venture, only about 2% of the total funding, despite women constituting roughly 80% of the U.S. healthcare force. With Nandy Life Sciences, they aim to bridge that disparity by advancing innovative treatments in high-need areas. This one just started? How could it be connected with Sentebale all of a sudden? Yes, I know Shanduka is this, whatever, but it's very fishy to me. From its inception, the goal of Nandy Life Science was clear and mission-driven to advance biotechnological solutions for rare cancer and autoimmune conditions, while also addressing systemic inequities in healthcare, entrepreneurship, and funding. This is the part here. Funding. If you like, I can look into development research initiative. Okay. Something is not right. Something is not right for the time it was created to now. 2 years. Okay. We are 2025. So they started 2023. So they were before 2023, they probably were brainstorming how can they mess up Sentebale. I'm just talking on top of my head. I don't speak to these people, so I don't know. Let's put allegedly. So leading to 2023, when they finally made it public, they already had their plan set up. And then they worked their way into Sentebale. And then okay, another question I have for ChatGPT. When did Sophie Shanduka yeah, I think I know it. It was 2 times. She was there earlier, like 2009, and then she left and then came back. Let's look at the years. When did Sophie Shanduka join Sentebale? I know it's 2 years. One 2009, and then she left and then come back again. Okay, you might be referring to Dr. Sophie Shanduka, who held leadership role at Sentebale, the charity co-founded by Prince Harry and Prince Yoso of Lesotho. Board trustees, she first served on Sentebale's board of trustees from, this is what I was aware, from 2008 to 2015. And then after that, okay, then she got some alphabet thing from the royal family. And then she went back to Sentebale. Chair of the board, Sophie Shanduka was appointed chair of Sentebale board July 23. Okay, 2023. So that's around the same time she did, where is the thing here? Who is it? Okay. Right here. Mission. Tanashi Shanduka in 2023. Almost the same year, she went back to Sentebale. Okay. Co-founder by Sophie Shanduka and her brother, that's the name of the brother, in 2023. So once she got herself in Sentebale, they create that, and then she went back in 2023. Oh my God. So to summarize, she initially joined as a trustee around 2008 and later returned, okay, I was aware of that, to take on the role of the chair in July 2023. And one of the things I said back then when I was looking into that, and I said they probably felt like, they probably felt like because she was already there, you know, it's easier to just give her the position. But meanwhile, she went. Okay, the other question, did Sophie Shandoka receive an award from the royal family? And then it's probably going to tell me when she received that alphabet award. Did Sophie Shandoka received an award It's probably gonna say yes. Yep, there it is. Yes, Dr. Sophie Shandoka did receive an award from the British royal family. She was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE, that's what we call Alphabet Award, in 2023. Okay? 2021. Oh my God, the number's right there. In 2021. So let's look back again. Okay? She received the award 2021. When did she left? Okay, she left in 2015. Sentebale, she left in 2015. And then by that time, they probably were brainstorming. Well, Meghan didn't come into the picture. So that wasn't a problem at all. But after Harry got married, Meghan is there. You see all the debacle. And then she went back in 2023. But in between 2015, and then she received that award 2021. By then, Harry and Meghan have already married. So they probably gave her the award because she already know what Sentebale is all about. And then she went back 2023 and did all the mess in 2025, where everything's starting to come into full view. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just sharing my crazy thought with you guys. The time frame and things like that. Okay, back to this. As such, Nendi's founders are particularly proud to support the work of Sentebale in Southern Africa, principally in Lesotho and Botswana. But why her work, that Nendi Life Science, had to focus exactly on what Harry is focusing on? Oh my God. Sentebale works with children and young people with respect to achieving their health, wealth creation, and climate resilience goal with the support from key influencers in their communities. These are the things that they put in. Oh my God. You know, as I'm editing this video, I'm thinking in past videos, a long time ago, some of you, maybe my 200 might remember if I did leave those information into the recording, because sometimes I said things and then remove them. I remember saying from the beginning where I saw something, an article, and I could never find that article, where someone from the UK left and went in the US somewhere in the South. And when I saw that, my first question was, why those areas in the South? But what I saw was either Mississippi or Louisiana, somewhere around those areas. But I never said Texas, but I was thinking more of those corner lower states. And I used to question myself, why those areas for someone from the UK going down south? I don't know. That was the beginning, okay? I was fresh into looking into Harry and Meghan, and I saw that. And I could never find that article to back me up. Now, looking at this, where it started in 2023, I was already sharing things about Harry and Meghan already. But from what I saw here, I think the address that they put is somewhere in Texas. That's also in the South. So I don't know. That just crossed my mind. Does that had whatever I saw had anything to do with that? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, my crazy thinking. But let's get back to the original recording. Lots of word salad in the program description. Diabolical. There's that, right? Whatever is here. There's no information on funding. I don't think they have any yet because people are not They already waste so much money. They already drain a good amount from what I read a while back. And yet, and I'm convinced that was Sophie's aim, you'd be shocked how many biotech healthcare startup founders have no education or experience in the space prior to getting funding. They're just great con artists. There's that. People are angry. I predicted that women will be in jail in the future. How shady. Scary. Okay, well, if true, using kids' data like that would be the next level shady. And yeah, what does an indie life science even do? Gavin Brooks when had a thread on sketchy marketplace like this, feel similar, whole thing stinks. Give it time, baggage for God. Okay, everything is allegedly, okay? And some of the things that I share with you were questions I was asking myself, okay? And the time frame seemed to fit perfectly, step by step. I think from 2008 to 2015, it was pure whatever. Normal things were happening normally. But when she got that Alphabet Award, I think the royal family, in my humble opinion, target her because she knows inside information about Sentebale. And then they arranged that hostile takeover for this to happen now. It just seemed to systematically. All right, next tweet.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.